Alright, so this is all of the exhaust parts I've acquired for making this handmade custom exhaust. I went stainless steel and everything. This piece was going to be stainless, right? And then all the pie cuts that you could find on the internet were stainless. The bins were stainless, so I said, you know what, we're going stainless on the whole thing. We're not doing anything that's going to rust, which is cool. So all this stuff over here came from Ace Race Parts. They're not sponsored because I only got like 200 subscribers. That's okay. These are pie cuts. These are 7.5 degrees. These total up in 90 degrees. And these are 45 degrees. They're 4.5 degrees a piece. So I guess it's 4.5 degrees a side. I don't know. I got this pipe from them too. There's U-bend, this 1 to 2 inch reducer. And all this stuff over here came from Amazon. This is the muffler I got. It's like 40, 50 bucks. And it came with this hardware, came with a hanger. These bins right here are actually, these bins came from Amazon as well, but these bins are nicer than I thought they were gonna be. They're actually as nice as the stuff that came from Ace Race Parts. Now these came from Amazon too. They look a little funny, but they are stainless. They don't stick to a magnet, so whatever, it'll work. This flange I got off eBay, a couple bucks. Now these two pieces I showed earlier, or I'll put a clip, started out as like 1.25 inch collars for like shaft, 1.5 inch shaft or 1.25 inch shaft. So I turned these down on my buddy's lathe. They're stainless as well, and this is going to be for going inside the head here, like that. And then this pipe is actually 1.25 inch. I got the pipe at the steel yard in their scrap bin. I just happened to get it, so that worked out perfect. You can see this little ridge here. So I swelled it up to like 1.5 inches so it fits. It doesn't fit snug. It's got like a loose fit, but it's better than it was without that swell. So, anywho, all these parts are gonna go on here, on this 300. I think I'm gonna go like the stock exhaust as far as out and around the frame rail instead of going inside the frame rail like some of the exhausts do. Now I also did get some stainless steel flux core wire so that I didn't have to get gas. So I got this flux core stainless wire off Amazon. It seems to work okay. I went to town on this piece of scrap and I ended up getting a few decent welds. I think this one being the most decent one right here. But I got best results when I actually turned the gas on. So I guess you get flux and gas. And you have to reverse the polarity. So anyways, I guess I'm gonna set up a camera and start recording. So this is my two pieces here. These are just stainless steel 1.25 inch collars. And I welded them together. I put this piece of pipe in between them just to hold everything true. And we gotta turn this down to 1.7 inches. I have this flange cut out. It's two pieces from this piece of metal, but of course my hands are a little sweaty. This is 1.25 inch, and the pipe I want to use is 1.5 inch, but we're gonna reduce down to this 1.25 inch. But of course, this is 1.5 inch, the 1.25 inch. There's a gap. So I found this piece and I machined it down with this paper on it. And I've already started doing this actually, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but then it was, so then I grabbed the camera. So anyways, just wrench down on this baby. Heck, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. We can do something with that, I think. So to start off, we need to weld this pipe inside here to this collar. And looks like I got a little bit of junk in there. I need to clean that real quick. But yeah, we need to weld that so everything's sealed, and then we can grind the welds down. So wish me luck. Alright, it's not beautiful, but we got the welds ground down and it's pretty circular. So now let's mount this up on the head and start getting our first pie cut or bend, first little section. I think this piece like that goes pretty good. I think I'm gonna tack that right there. Alright, so a lot of things are not cooperating with me as far as angles, the ground on the welder. So I'm thinking something like this. I think we cut 3 inches off to start with. Okay, this is where I'm currently at. I have a little pie cut in there to kick it away from the frame. And it still can go, hold on a minute. It can still go all kinds of different ways here with this thing. I think just to keep it simple, we'll probably keep it in there. Maybe cut this. I'm not sure yet. So I'm brainstorming here. And I think what I'm gonna do is cut a section out of this U right here, maybe an inch. And then that'll bring this in more along this frame. I'm gonna just cut it first and we'll see what happens. And then I can add one of these pie cuts and we'll see, you know, where this all ends up. Okay, so this is hard to do with my hands, no hands, but I cut the U-pipe and then I cut like 1/4 inch out, and then I got like a little pie cut in there, and it's coming out right where I want it. So I marked it with those Sharpie marks. I'm gonna pull everything out and tack it. We'll show you what's up next. Okay, well now we're out of the woodwork. I put a pie cut in there, you can see it. One of the pie cuts from the 90-degree kit, I think. And I did cut a 1/4 inch out of this U-bend. So I chopped the U-bend, took a 1/4 inch out and added that pie cut. So now we're coming in here close to the head, away from the frame. Actually, a little close to the frame on the bottom. But we can tilt. We still have technology. We still have plenty of wiggle room. Everything's just tacked. Even though stainless steel is super hard metal. Actually, in comparison to aluminum and steel, it's pretty hard. So I think we need to measure out a piece from go to here, and then I was checking out this 45, but I don't think I think the 45 is too much. So I think we'll have to do a couple pie cuts. So I think I got this. I did have to push back this oil feed line a little bit because it was out there in space. but I think we are on the right track here. So I cut another piece out, roughly 10 inches. I threw the plastics on, and we need to be something like that. So we're gonna have to use one of our pie pieces, probably another small one. Let's see. Ding 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 dong 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 ding dong. Oh, come on now. Literally, I'm dropping everything, and I don't like it. I got one of my, this is a pie cut from the 90 kit, and I think that's gonna work right there. It just barely, actually, that clears the arm here pretty good. So let's go ahead and tack it up. Okay, so I took the plastics off, and I think I have our little stack here. This is a 45, this is a 45, and this is a pie cut from the 45 degree. So I think this is 9 degrees. But basically, something like that. But this is not lining up this way. It needs to come out here. So I think I need to cut a little bit off this first 45 degree. Tried a couple different ways. I think I can make it work. Make sure our muffler is tight here. Now that we have the mount done up. Uh-oh, someone's texting me. I think, like I was saying earlier, I think this is gonna be our stack here. 45 long, another 45 but short. Huh. I think I need to cut like a 1/4 inch off the end of this to get everything to line up. Okay, I made the determination. This has definitely got to go on the muffler piece here, the reducer adapter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tack this on here because it's hard to juggle all the little pieces. Alright, so this is the gap we are left with on the exhaust. Hopefully we can figure it out here. And then we can... Alright, I got the collector rear portion of the muffler hooked up. This is the reducer the muffler came with. This is a 45 long elbow. This is a 45 short. This is one of the pie cuts from the 90-degree bend kit. And now I just need to measure the distance between here and connect the dots. Alright, last piece is going in. Should be for 1 5/8 inches. Haven't fit this up yet.
I love it! Come on!
So I've done some welding so far. I don't know, I practiced on a different piece of pipe and I don't know. Can't get this flux core wire to work perfectly. Great, beautiful. But anyways, I think we're doing more welding or more grinding than we are welding. But I'm gonna go and finish welding this up on a time lapse. Okay, so I've done a bunch of grinding on the header. It's not fully welded. I ran out of wire, but I went ahead and ground everything down as good as I could without taking it all the way down flush. So I have the exhaust in my leaf blower duct taped, and then the end over here is duct taped. And I'm gonna put the leaf blower on and spray it with soapy water. See if we can find some leaks. Okay, so we have one right in here, and then we have some more up in here where I have not fully welded up against the flange. So that one's gonna be tricky, but there are a couple welds back here, but I'm gonna try those next. This is just okay. I have it repositioned. Let's try it again. So far, we only had one leak up here. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Well, I'm fairly certain our only leaks are, I can't remember. Some of my things are right there somewhere. No, was it on the bottom? Yeah, I think it was on the bottom. I think that was it. But we'll just go over this whole thing again. And then, let's see. There goes my, and this up here is not fully welded. Yeah, and in this area it's not fully welded. So we'll get that welded up, and then hopefully our pipe is good to go. Okay, after lots and lots of grinding and lots of welding, actually more grinding than welding, I got this thing done. I welded some more on here and then ground it down just because I was worried about penetration on the first wire I used, because I looked inside the pipe and it was making me nervous. So I welded this up some more in there. We got the leaks fixed on the very front of the head pipe, and I didn't grind this one down because I figured it's going to get covered by mud and it's big and beefy. Now one thing is my spacer that I had in here no longer works because I only welded on the outside, so that like made the exhaust kick out. So I have to make a new spacer, and plus once it heats up, it gets more pliable. But next thing I want to do is try and mount this heat shield on, and I have some stainless steel nuts. All I gotta do is just weld them on, hopefully. Okay, so my mounts are in, and oh my gosh, they look terrible. But the good thing is it's going to be hidden behind the heat shield. Sucker's on there. It also needs to be clearanced out for this oil line. I bent the oil line as close as I could to the motor, but it's still close to the exhaust. So I'm gonna take the exhaust off and take it over to my buddy's house. We're gonna heat up red hot in this spot right here, clearance it out, you know, with a big old hammer right there. And then we'll see if we can kind of bend this back into the shape I want it. All right, I have my 3 things I need here: my exhaust, the torch, and a hammer. So this is the area we need to dent in, because the pipe sits like this, and it needs to clear that that exhaust. Needs to clear that oil line a little bit more. Okay, after we bent the clearance for this oil line, let's see. You can see we have more clearance now, and we're gonna pull it out a little bit like that too. So we got the pipe on. Now I've measured. Now it is gonna be a little bit angled out, which I was hoping to have it more square. That's just the way the angle of the dangle is working on this thing now to help clear that line. I did have to cut off this mount because it was throwing other stuff off over here. So I think we'll put another mount going a little bit more angle and cut out now. Okay, 3rd attempt on our bracket, and I think we are good this time finally. Okay, I threw the heat shield on. Looks pretty good. Got the springs on. I went ahead and took the baffle out because more louder, more better, whatever they say. So I'm gonna start it up. It's probably not gonna be jetted right, but we'll see. Close right there. I did trim this little corner off, But maybe I need to trim that a little bit too now. But this thing's got plenty of clearance in there. We don't have to worry about any more burn marks, burn holes. We have plenty of clearance. So that is the custom exhaust. Thanks for watching.